My name is April Wolin. I'm an early childhood educator. I've been with Head Start for 3 years now. I've been in early childhood for over a decade. I'm going to show you around my classroom. This is the beginning of it. This is our parent board, our welcome board. Where here the parents are able to see the newsletter, the menu for what is to eat at school, the lesson plan, and our schedule for the school day, and also the start to end class time. Their cubbies where their important information are located, or their little daily treasures where they find. And we can go into the classroom here. This is our tables where they eat lunch, or sometimes do small groups. Another thing located in this area are our buckets, which are a reward chart for good behavior, to fill up our buckets and make us and promote kindness and good choices in the classroom. So the child will earn a line at a time based on their choices, and when the bucket is full, they earn a small reward that they are able to choose. Also in this area, we do small groups, and for that, they are in their own set groups to build a sense of community. They're in the same groups during this time. Each group, each day has a different group manager who are in charge of making sure they have all their group with them and they walk together to the next group. They're able to tell themselves where they're going by finding the color of arrow for their group time, and the arrow is pointing in that direction. Over here is where we have, when it is time to do large group time together and circle time, we come here and the children sit on either these spots, or some children aren't able to just sit on the spots, so they need different tools like these little squishy sensory chairs, or cube chairs in order for them to be successful for what they need to sit and learn. So here's where we do our calendar. We go over our rules daily. The children have classroom jobs each day. These are our helping hands. We go over the weather, and here we have another reward chart, which right now we're trying to work our way up to a hot cocoa party, hopefully before the winter ends. So they earn marshmallows when collectively as a group they make good choices together. This is just our board where each week we focus on a different number, letter, color, and shape, and then the children are able to help put the information on here that they can remember. The books that I read that they're able to look at and talk about as well. Here is our daily schedule, so they're able to see.
Sorry about that, everybody.
They're able to see at their eye line, and then this arrow actually moves, and we have a helper who's able to do each section, is able to move the arrow, so they're able to see what time of day it is. I close off my group time intentionally so there's no other distractions, but when it is time for center time, this is able to open to become block center, as this as well. And each center has its own sign-in sheet. So the child, before they go to center time, they receive their name tag where they spell their name or sign their name, or if they're bilingual, they learn it in that language just to help them to scaffold what they're learning on if they already know their name. So they just sign in to the center that they would like to play in at that time. And when they're all done, that also promotes them picking up on their own before they take their name tag and go to a different center. This center here is Black Center. They have a very large area for it. We bring the dollhouse over here as well, where they can build with different things. This is some tree pieces, animals, dollhouse characters, cars, things that they can build more on their own, in their own blocks if they want to create their own house in their own space. That is there. Over here is Library Center, where we have books available to them and places to sit with stuffy little toys. They also have puppets, just like I do. I have my second step puppets displayed to them at all times, so when we're able to talk to them. And there, Lizzie has her own chair there, and their puppets also are able to sit in their own little chair. And then we offer some sign language and just a few little computerized learning things for them. Let's see here. Did I do all this?
Yeah, will you explain the cube?
Yes. This is our calm cube, or calm corner. So when the child is has high emotions, sad, kind of just need to move their body a little even, or sometimes people just don't want to be around anyone else, so they're able to come in here, and there's a teddy bear. The teddy bear gets all of the roughness that they're feeling to get out instead of on their friends, or their stuffed animals to play with, or timers, breathing boards. This is just for one friend at a time, that they are able to remove themselves to help regulate their own emotions. There's two of them, because sometimes more than one person needs that at a time. So over in this area, they also have, they know that this is a breathing ball. They know that this is also an area they can do that at. And there's some emotion blocks. And this is kind of like a move our body thing, so they can try to jump up here, reach the stars. If they have big energy, they can try to get that out positively in these areas as well. And then this is another center of ours is science, is very beloved. We have our light table and all of the toys here are labeled to see what they would like. We have gears and magnets to go on there. Our kids like to build a lot, so we're gonna need a bigger table, but they like to use this as well. They like to build stuff, and then they kind of come back to it. They have two different opportunities to play at this center. So some of them like to save their things, so they all know that this means save, and which means that please do not touch, and the friend will be back at a later time to play with it. And then we have puzzle center over here, where they're able to play with different puzzles, or a lot of this stuff over here is also like writing and literacy. They're able to create letters, or lock the letters up together, and get a little bit of literacy in as well with that. And our globe, our puzzle globe, of course. A little bit of social studies as well. Our dramatic play center tends to change every month, just depending on what our theme is and what we're talking about. Right now it's Valentine's Day, so we have the flowers our friends are able to organize and give to others, and then some cookies that they can make and change, stuffed animals, and then we did like a mailbox for some Valentines, so they're able to get an envelope and a sticker, and there's some pencils and write little Valentines and put them in the mailbox to mail them off. So they really like it. And it's good to switch up. I like switching up dramatic play to go along with what we're learning at that time. It just helps embed it more, and it keeps them very interested in this center. It's always a top center in here. I think that
Can
is-
you talk a little bit about your curriculum and your curriculum and how you do your lesson planning just a little bit?
Yeah.
How do you
So-
decide on your themes or the
The
studies
themes-
or?
Yeah, the themes I kind of go for during the time of year. So right now it's February, so we did love and Valentine's Day and inclusivity with Black History Month as well. So I try to tie all that under one big umbrella at one time. For March, it will be springtime, and we'll start learning. They're actually very interested in the water cycle, so we'll start learning about that in springtime. And then I put it into each part of, I try to sprinkle my theme into each part of my lesson plan. So when I'm talking to them, we do certain things every day, like calendar and weather. And then the books that we read are based on the theme, and that helps tie it in. When we do small groups, it's also tied into either the sensory or the manipulatives or the games that we're playing. And we do small groups every day as well. And then we try to tie it into their centers as well.
Can you talk about how you individualize as far as what specific needs children have and how that kind of ties into your assessment? The gold, because they've learned, these students, I've talked to them a little bit about the curriculum and the gold. So what does that look like in your room?
Well, some of the children have, like when we sit down, they have different tools that they're able to, if they need to sit at. Some children have specific jobs, like one child is in charge of changing the board based on if they're able to get through each section, okay? And then our SDI is up here as we work on each bit of it. So they're able to see that as well.
How do you assess them? How do you keep track or document what they're learning and what they're doing?
Oh, well, actually, Gold has a very helpful app. I'm not quite sure. Just the app that we have that we're able to actually record them.
Yep.
I have my own documentation, so that way when I'm doing small groups and I'm looking for the certain objective that I have, I created my own chart that I'm able to relate to a little bit more when I'm jotting down than what they're actually capable of doing. So that sometimes you just have to find what works for you when able to actually be like this. On your lesson plan, you put, this is the objective that I'm looking for, and so when it comes time to actually do that, you have the paperwork to sit down and mark as long as they're doing the objectives that you're looking for.
Okay. Another thing that we talked about when I presented to the students was social emotional skills. So can you talk a little bit about second step and how successful you've been helping children? You talked about your cube over there and helping with their emotions, but anything else to add about that?
My kids are very receptive to the cube in their space, and when we do second step, and Fred and Lizzie are always up here watching them, and we get them out and they do group time with them, or sometimes they're able to look at that with them. Just the biggest thing is being with the children and just coaching them, being there during those times. And it's really also great when you can see from second step and SDI and giving them all these tools and coaching in the moment, then they start to do it themselves. And so that's why I created, because not all children are the same. So some children are not at the same level of social emotional. So that's why I created some of the rewards, because so that way the children who are doing wonderful things are able to get acknowledged for that instead of the children who are needing things are the only ones being acknowledged. And then it promotes them that they want a little something special as well. So
Good. Okay, one last question.
yes.
What do you like most about working for Head Start?
I love, honestly, the children and the families that we specifically serve. It's wonderful for them to just come in and just so excited and ready to start their day. And I hear about like 20 times a day that I love you, and they're so happy to be here. And they have these big, wonderful, curious minds, and I just like to be that I'm part of the reason that they're expanding that and that they're growing, and that they can come here and feel safe and good and happy.
Thank you, April.
Yes, thank you.